The hum of the military cafeteria filled the air, trays clattering, boots echoing, laughter rolling across the steel benches. Soldiers came and went in lines, uniforms crisp, ranks visible. But at the far end of the room sat a woman no one noticed. Her uniform bore no insignia, her posture calm, her eyes distant. She quietly stirred her coffee, untouched food growing cold in front of her. A group of junior officers walked by, their laughter carrying across the room. One of them glanced her way and muttered under his breath, probably admin staff. Must have gotten lost. The others chuckled, moving on without a second glance. She didn't react, she just sat there, still, patient, as if waiting for something. A sergeant brushed past her chair and knocked her folder to the floor. "Watch your stuff, ma'am," he said, not even looking down. The papers scattered, official looking, but all stamped classified. The sergeant bent halfway before seeing the red seals, then froze mid-motion. His hand trembled, but before he could ask, she calmly gathered the papers herself. "It's fine, Sergeant," she said softly, her tone carrying a weight that didn't match her plain appearance. From across the cafeteria, whispers began. Who was she? No one had seen her before. No one had any record of a new arrival. And yet, her uniform, plain though it was freshly pressed, her boots spotless. Then it happened. The doors at the far end burst open. Conversation died instantly. The room stiffened to attention as a 4-star general, General Marcus Hale himself, strode in, surrounded by aides and senior officers. Every soldier stood up, saluting. All except her. She stayed seated, calm, composed, her eyes lifted, meeting the general's for a fraction of a second. Something in that brief look stopped him mid-step. His aides froze as he walked forward, directly toward her table. Murmurs rippled through the cafeteria. "What's he doing?" someone whispered. The general approached, his boots heavy on the tile, his expression unreadable. Then, to everyone's astonishment, he stopped in front of her, and snapped to attention. Every sound vanished. The entire cafeteria stood frozen as the 4-star general saluted her. "Ma'am," he said quietly, voice steady, "it's an honor to have you here." Gasps echoed around the room. Forks dropped. The same soldiers who had laughed moments ago looked at her with pale faces, realization dawning too late. She slowly rose, returning the salute with quiet precision. "At ease, General," she said. "I'm just passing through." He nodded once, eyes respectful. "Understood, Admiral." The word hung in the air like thunder. "Admiral." The officer's jaws fell open. She turned, gathered her folder, and walked out as silence reigned. Only after she left did the general speak again, his tone firm. "Let that be a reminder," he said, looking around the stunned room, "that rank isn't always on the shoulder, sometimes, it's in the record you'll never get to see." The cafeteria doors swung shut behind her, the metallic clang echoing down the hallway. For a moment, no one dared to move. The air inside still trembled with what had just happened, a 4-star general saluting a woman no one had even acknowledged minutes ago. In the command wing, General Marcus Hale strode briskly toward his office, aides struggling to match his pace. His jaw was set, his mind racing. The last person he expected to see here, her. She wasn't supposed to exist, at least not officially. "Sir," one of the aides ventured, "should we?" "Not a word," Hale snapped, voice low but sharp. "Not unless you have clearance above top secret." The aide fell silent instantly. Meanwhile, down the corridor, the woman walked alone. Her footsteps were light, unhurried. Every soldier she passed moved aside instinctively, unsure why. Something about her presence demanded it, quiet authority, the kind that didn't need shouting or medals to prove itself. As she reached the restricted elevator, a pair of MPs blocked her path. "Ma'am, this area's off limits," one of them said politely. She didn't argue. She simply handed over a small black ID card, no name, just a red insignia embossed in silver. The guard scanned it, and the terminal beeped once before flashing access, Omega level. Both MPs stiffened. "Apologies, Admiral," one said quickly, stepping aside. She gave a faint nod and entered the elevator, pressing for sublevel 3 strategic operations. The doors closed, sealing her away from the whispers still buzzing through the base. Back in the cafeteria, those whispers had turned into a storm. Did he say Admiral? Why wasn't she in the roster? Who the hell outranks General Hale like that? No one had answers, only questions that grew louder with each retelling. The sergeant who had knocked over her folder sat frozen, replaying the moment in his mind, haunted by the red classified stamps. Minutes later, in the general's private office, the encrypted monitor flickered to life. A video feed showed the woman entering a secure command room below the base. Hale leaned forward, watching silently as she began speaking with a small team of intelligence officers. "Activate Operation Silent Vow," her voice came through, calm but commanding. "We move tonight. No announcements, no leaks." One of the analysts hesitated. "Admiral, with respect, the operation was terminated 2 years ago." Her eyes met the camera, cold and unwavering. "Then it's time to wake it up." The general exhaled slowly, leaning back in his chair. He knew now that her appearance wasn't coincidence, it was warning. She had come to take control of something buried deep beneath even his clearance. Outside, the base sirens began to wail faintly, not alarms, but coded signals. Whatever she was here for, it had already begun.